Welcome to my channel. This will be the opening part of what if Goku and RADITZ were reborn with their memories. If you end up enjoying, leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. We start this story years after the end of Dragon Ball Super. Goku and Vegeta had grown old, age was rapidly creeping in, and both warriors knew it. Rather than fade away quietly, they wanted one final battle. An all-out fight between two lifelong rivals who had somehow become the closest thing either of them had to a brother. They stood across from each other on Beerus' planet. Goku wrapped in the silver hair glow of Ultra Instinct, Vegeta radiant in the purple aura of Ultra Ego. Beerus sat back and watched, completely delighted, savoring every second of what was about to unfold. The fight that followed shook the very foundations of the planet. Two Saiyans, decades of rivalry, and one final exchange of everything they had. In the end, they knew exactly how they wanted to go, in a blaze of glory. Neither of them backing down to the very last second. When Goku opened his eyes again, he was standing in another world. He had time to think, really think, about everything he had lived through. His mind wandered through the decades, the battles, the friends, and the losses. And somewhere in that reflection, his thoughts drifted to his brother, RADITZ, a Saiyan he had barely knew. Someone who had appeared in his life for a single afternoon decades ago and then vanished into memory, written off as just another villain in a long line of enemies. It struck Goku as strange. He had a blood brother who had lived and breathed his entire time, and yet Vegeta, of all people, the same man he had just spent his final moments fighting, felt more like family than RADITZ ever had. It was an odd thought to carry into the afterlife, but it lingered. That is when something strange began to happen. A pulling sensation crept through Goku's body. It was faint at first, but then it became stronger, like something was reaching through the fabric of existence itself and dragging him backward. Back in hell, RADITZ felt the exact same thing at the exact same moment. Neither of them understood it. Neither of them had time to understand it. Then both of the Saiyans blacked out. Now we rewind. Goku found himself staring up at two faces through the glass of an incubation chamber. It was his parents, Bardock and Gine. He knew exactly who they were. He had gotten the memories back during the ordeal with Granola, when his history as a Saiyan was unlocked in his mind. Now here he was, an infant again. So what had RADITZ been doing this whole time? Truthfully, not much. He was just as confused as Goku, if not more. His memories had also returned in full, every moment of his life replaying in his head, and the only thing that stuck with him was the memory of his brother. He had caught a glimpse of Kakarot once, staring through the glass of the chamber while his baby brother slept. Aside from that fleeting moment, life continued exactly as it always had. RADITZ still went on missions alongside Vegeta and Nappa, purging planets, following orders, playing the part of a low-caste warrior serving under Frieza's banner. Nothing about his day-to-day existence changed. He simply carried the weight of knowing everything that would eventually happen, and there is not much he could do about it. Goku, meanwhile, was sent off towards Earth exactly as history intended. There is no way for him to stop Frieza from later destroying planet Vegeta, so he let history play out. He crash landed on Earth as he did before, and the familiar face of Grandpa Gohan greeted him. Over the course of the next few minutes, Goku made his mission to convince the old man the truth. He explained that he had already lived a long and fulfilling life, that he had grown into one of the most powerful warriors in the entire multiverse, feared and respected by gods, demons, and everything in between. At first, Gohan simply assumed the boy had an overactive imagination, the kind that children often display, but the details kept piling up. The child knew about Master Roshi, he knew about the Kamehameha wave, a technique that he had no business knowing at his age. He spoke of King Piccolo with a familiarity that unsettled the old man, describing the 4-star Dragon Ball as though Goku had held it in his hands before ever seeing it. And then there was the name. Gohan had been quietly turning over the idea of naming the boy Goku. When the boy referred to himself by that exact name, Gohan's doubts had crumbled away entirely. There was no explaining that away. Grandpa Gohan came to accept that whatever sat before him, it was no ordinary child. It was actually a grown man in the body of a child. Over the next several years, he trained under Master Roshi alongside Krillin, but this time there was a difference. Goku fought like a seasoned veteran wrapped in a child's frame. Every movement was efficient, every strike was deliberate, nothing was wasted. Krillin found himself improving faster than he ever had in the original timeline, simply from being in the presence of someone who had fought with decades of hidden experience. Goku dominated the junior tournament, barely registering as a challenge to him. After defeating Tien in the World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku stopped Krillin before he could set off to retrieve his Dragon Ball. He insisted on going himself. He tracked the trail to one of King Piccolo's monstrous offspring, tambourine, the very creature responsible for ending Krillin's life in the original telling of events. This time, Goku didn't hesitate. He powered up into Super Saiyan, the golden aura tearing through the surrounding air, and ended the demon in a single strike before it ever had a chance to lay a hand on his friend. From there, Goku hunted down the rest of King Piccolo's remaining children one by one, erasing every threat before it could ever take root. Eventually, King Piccolo himself appeared, and the Demon King knew instantly that something was deeply wrong with the child standing before him. The power radiating off of Goku was something else entirely. Rather than destroy the Demon King outright, Goku made a request. He told King Piccolo to create one more son, a successor, someone to carry after him. King Piccolo was confused, uncertain why this child would ask for such a thing, instead of simply ending him where he stood. But the sheer weight of Goku's presence, the aura, the barely restrained power laced with a hint of malice, left room for no defiance. King Piccolo complied, spawning one final offspring before Goku erased him from existence in a single decisive blast. Goku took the egg, using instant transmission, and appeared before Kami. Kami was left utterly speechless, part of him wanting to intervene, but caution held him back. When he reached out and sensed the boy's energy, he found something unexpected. Beneath small amounts of malice from his transformation, Goku's heart was pure. Kami made his decision. He would take the egg, raise the child himself, and ensure Piccolo Jr. would grow up in better circumstances than the ones that corrupted his predecessor. While all of this played out on Earth, Raditz was drowning in a very different kind of struggle. Every mission he completed with Vegeta and Nappa felt hollow now, mechanical even. Like going through the motions of a life he had already finished living once before. He remembered his own death vividly. He remembered being struck down on a strange blue planet by an Namekian of all people. He remembered the sting of that failure, the humiliation of being the weakest link of his own family. Now with all that knowledge sitting heavy in his mind, Raditz found himself doing something he never expected. He started paying closer attention to Vegeta. He studied the prince's fighting style, his temperament, and the way he barked orders, and buried his pride beneath layers of arrogance. Raditz began to wonder if there's a version of his life where he wasn't simply cannon fodder, where he'll live his life the way he wanted. He knew this could be that life. He kept these thoughts to himself. Raditz trained in secret during whatever downtime the crew allowed. He pushed himself harder than he ever had, chasing after strength he never bothered to seek out the first time around. He wasn't sure what he was preparing for exactly, only that some instinct deep inside told him his path back to his brother wouldn't play out the same way twice. Whatever awaited him on Earth, he intended to be ready for it. Back on Earth, a few years gone by, Goku was battling Piccolo Jr., who joined the war tournament. Goku was glad things could turn out this way. Piccolo was one of his oldest allies, and this time he was raised by Kami but was not actively trying to kill him. Goku would still win against Piccolo, not even transforming. He would still end up marrying Chi-Chi. Another time skip would happen. A reunion was happening at Kame House, and unlike in canon, Grandpa Gohan was present. Goku was actively sensing Raditz's ki that was approaching the planet. A few moments would go by, and he now sensed Raditz heading toward him. Raditz will land on Roshi's island. Goku exits the house to meet him. Grandpa Gohan, Roshi, Bulma exit to see what was happening. Raditz's eyes never left Goku's. He didn't even acknowledge Goku's friends and family. Raditz was about to say something. Kakarot. He stopped himself. He really looked at his brother. Goku. He scoffed at himself, saying Kakarot's earthling name. Goku's eyes widened in surprise. They both float in the sky, away from Kame House. He asked Raditz if he remembered their last encounter. Raditz would also be surprised. He was not alone. His own brother remembered his past life too. Raditz would confirm that he does. This time, he does not attack his brother. Goku would say that he would like things to be different. And deep down, Raditz wanted the same thing. He wanted to get to know his brother this time around. Goku would then claim that he had defeated Frieza, transformed into a Super Saiyan, and even went to the realm of the gods and fought a god of destruction. Raditz was taken aback by the influx of information. The things that caught his attention were Super Saiyan, gods, and god of destruction. He recalls Vegeta mentioned a god of destruction before. Goku would then transform into a Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2, then 3, and even 4. Raditz's scouter blew up when he tried to scan Goku's power. He was amazed, and to think his brother had challenged a god. He was nervous, but he smirks, telling his brother to teach him Super Saiyan. Raditz internally cursed at himself. If he had never tried to kill Goku back then, he too would have turned to a Super Saiyan and even achieved the power of the gods. Back with Vegeta and Nappa, they had been listening in on everything. Vegeta was astonished to learn the truth about Raditz and his brother. To think that Goku was a Super Saiyan, defeated Frieza, and even fought Beerus. It was crazy to even think about. He made his decision. He was going to head to Earth to investigate. That will be it for the opening part of What If Goku and Raditz were reborn with their memories. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one.